Spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Also, after that, we'll be going across to Dr. Vishal Sehgal, the Medical Director of Portia Health Vista Private Enterprise, also joining us here, as well as Riya Singhal, founder and CEO of EcoWare, who's joining us in this show. If I can come to you first, Tom Vadakkan, we just saw how polluted the areas and all the states, most of them, let me also remind our viewers, run by the BJP are. How can you simply push all the blame onto Arvind Kejriwal and his government? What about your state governments? What about your health ministry? And what about your environment ministry at the center?
Look, Meghna, this is not an issue about A political party or B political party. This is about human lives. Let's get that straight. I'm not out here defending A party or B party or C party. I'm out here defending the blame game that has been set loose. You can't have photo opportunities and opportunity. There is a problem, address it. Now, there is this issue about stubble burning across in Haryana, Punjab. We need to sit together. Stakeholders must come together. This is about this country, the capital. And if this happens in the capital, imagine the plight elsewhere. Why is it that we are in a situation that internationally we will get blacklisted at this rate? Tourism will fall, our own people will be hospitalized. Under circumstances, it is not correct to say that, oh, this party is doing well and that party is responsible. I absolutely agree with you, Tom Vadakkan. I am very glad that you are saying it's not about politics. The reason we were talking about politics, however, Tom Vadakkan, is because when we put questions to the Union Environment Minister, Honorable Minister Mr. Prakash Javadekar told us it is essentially Delhi's fault. We tried speaking to Babul Supriyo, who's the MOS of Environment. He too has blamed the Delhi government, which is why we are asking, let's fix it. What is stopping, for example, the Environment Minister from ensuring that all these 5 warring states are brought together? Why isn't that a failure of the union government then? Well, this is, you have to put all the stakeholders together. Punjab is singing another kind of a music. There are satellite image. No, let me complete. Megha, let me complete. Megha, there are satellite images coming in. And I think now they are swung into emergency action plans. Now, the point here is, this is too late in the day for all this kind of action. If you look back at the archives of your own channel, the same discussion, the same panelists, and the same issue during this period happens. And that odd-even phenomenon is set loose. When there is pollution certificates to be issued, there is no machinery to ensure. You have huge lines outside petrol pumps, and without a pollution certificate, you can't move your vehicle out. So the point here is, you blame the center, you blame the state, but people are suffering. Let's get this very straight. Find solutions, whether the center takes initiative or the state. But I think all stakeholders must work together, and let's rise above politics and let's look at life that is at stake.
I would be very glad if what you are saying here on our channel is going to be put into practice. And that's precisely the point. And if I can bring you in, Riya Singhal, how do we find a consensus? It's impossible, because year after year we have the same problem, the same bickering. You have the right noises coming from the right corners as well, but nothing changes on ground. Who's going to build this consensus that everyone likes to talk about, but no one really knows how to arrive at it?
So, Meghna, I can't breathe at the moment. My kids are 6 and 8, and they can't breathe at the moment. And I was quite tired of waiting for this consensus. As an entrepreneur, I started a company called EcoWare. We use our feedstock as paddy straw, and we use it to convert it into disposable packaging to displace single-use plastic and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I think we can keep waiting for, the private sector and the NGOs and the government to come together and align. But I think that as individuals, as citizens, I think we need to be accountable. And I think that we need to create this change that we want to see. We need to be this change. There's nothing stopping us from behaving differently, whether you are a business leader, whether you are a CEO, or whether you're just a member of community. You can do the right thing. You don't have to wait for a consensus.
don't have to wait for consensus. It needs to be starting from the small steps that we ourselves take. Let me go across to Shreyoshi also, who's joining us, our reporter from Kolkata. What is the situation like in Kolkata, considering the health emergency which has been declared in Delhi? Are there steps and lessons which have been learned in other cities?
As the situation in Kolkata, in Delhi. In Kolkata, however, we have already surpassed the festivities, Diwali as well as Kali Puja that is celebrated here. So it has been an extended kind of festival that was celebrated here with firecrackers. Of course, the Kolkata police did a lot from its end to ban the firecrackers that cause pollution, sound as well as air. So far, Kolkata has been normal. We haven't seen that high haze or the air hasn't been extremely toxic. Of course, during Diwali, the air quality was poor, but it was not as severe as New Delhi.
Well, thank you so much, Shreyashi, for joining us with those details. So hopefully there are going to be lessons learned, because remember, in the pollution index, out of the top 100, 75 of them are Indian cities, and this is a global mirror which has been shown to India. Let me go across to Dr. Vishal Sehgal. Sir, if you can explain to us, what does it mean? We've all been told that Delhi's AQI level has crossed 700 mark. If you can just tell us in simple terms, what are the kind of hazards we now face?
Right. So the pollution would commonly affect the younger age group and elderly over the age of 65 years. It's all there. We discuss this every year. It's all over the media. It's over the net. But, you know, very little is being done to control it. It's the preventive measure that we need to look at. And, you know, from eye irritation to coughs, allergies, to more serious things like asthma, decrease in immunity, and exacerbations of respiratory illnesses like COPD are some of the common things that result from this. And yes, like I said, they affect more commonly to the younger age group and the elderly. In Delhi itself, there was a study that says that 50% of the children in Delhi have irreversible lung damage. There are 10,000 air pollution related deaths in Delhi every single year. That's another, you know, survey that has resulted. But, you know, there's very little that we have been doing. And yes, preventive measures is going to be the cure for this.
Oh, this is something which ought to be a wake-up call. Tom Vadakkan, if I can come to you, you just heard the doctor tell us how 50% of the children in Delhi have irreversible lung problems. What is the long-term counter plan? Is there a long-term counter plan by the centre?
Well, this is a very serious situation, and the doctors explain the situation, and if the statistics are right, I mean, I'm totally shocked, and I don't find words to explain this. But let me tell you something. The advertisements that we see every day, I mean, in each newspaper saying that they're going to do this and they're going to do that. I wish that money was sent out to those farmers who are, you know, burning the staple burning that's happening in Haryana, and I mean that I think crores of rupees are spent. I mean, let's we see the mug of the chief minister, and I'm not blaming anybody. That's fine. We know him, and if he's doing something, people would be doing will return him back. But that's not the issue. The issue here is the money that you spend, Exchequer spending on just on pollution. Now you will have ads every day and almost 3 pages leading newspapers. If you count the cost, I'm sure the kind of money that is required to stop all this is there. The point is, you can't run this publicity trail all the time. You need action. And if that
what is the
action is shown, statesmanship is shown, the centre has a plan of action. They will move in. And I'm not saying this will happen in another 1 week, 10 days, but the Prime Minister is totally aware of this and is absolutely sensitive to the whole issue.
Oh, Mr. Tom Vadakkan, I must tell you, it's like a moment of deja vu. This is precisely what we heard from the centre last year around as well, that there is a concrete plan to combat pollution. Nothing has happened. Another year, another debate. Tom Vadakkan, hopefully next year we're not going to be here having the same discussion. Tom Vadakkan, hopefully next year we're not going to be having the same debate, same discussion. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Thank you so much, Mr. Tom Vadakkan, Dr. Sehgal, as well as Riya Singhal for joining us here on the show. A short break, but this continues to be our top focus.